Today is the day, guys. We're gonna get these 40 strawberry plants planted in our grow towers. Okay, hey guys, so yeehaw. Today's the day. I'm very excited. We got these strawberry plants from a local Mennonite family who has a very large strawberry patch. So I'm very excited to get these guys into the container, and hopefully we can actually start having a strawberry harvest. Now, this is a section of a grow tower, and I've gone with the grow tower. There are quite a few gardeners, YouTubers who have done it this way, so you can definitely check out other video content on this, and they seem to have really good luck with it. Now, I have had little to no luck with the in-ground or in a bed method, primarily because we seem to attract slugs and snails when we put these plants in cinder blocks. So here's hoping that this guy is going to be the breakthrough that we need as far as strawberry plants go. Okay, so now that my dog is done having a come apart, let me show you, psych, let me show you what I'm gonna do to fill these guys up. Okay, now I want to say this just as an FYI. When you are assembling these, fill them separated. Don't stack them together and then fill them with soil. It just doesn't work out well. So, just FYI. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to fill them all the way up to the tippy top. You see that little level right there? And all of these come with directions. And each brand is different. This is a Mr. Stacky, just for reference. It's their USA made one, and they recommend not filling it past that little bump out. And they also recommended using a type of potting mix or raised bed soil for water retention reasons. Alright, so each one of these comes with a little disc, and you can see it's got these little knobbies on them. So they just kind of latch on under here. I didn't show you that earlier. And in theory, will help to stabilize it. Okay, so then it's all like, it's locked on there now. Okay? And then it's just as simple as interlocking sections like that. You've got two of these, and they are 5 tiers high. They have them, I think, also in a 7-tier option. I think that one is technically used for like leafy greens and things. We didn't need that for that reason. Yeah, I've got plenty of space for greens and other places to put greens, but wanted to go on ahead and give this a try for the strawberry plants. Okay, so let me go grab some plants and we will get this guy planted out real quick. Okay, so I've got this guy separated out, and I'm just going to pick a pocket, make a little hole, and shove them in. And top off with a little bit more dirt. Strawberries are really good plant options if you are somebody who needs to container garden. So for anybody out there who's looking at wanting to grow things but maybe is restricted in space or only has a balcony or patio area in an apartment, this would be a really good space-saving way to go. And they have multiple different designs. Some of them you can, this is also really good for bush green beans, just an FYI. So if you like green beans, this is a good way to plant them. Like I said, they have one that is made to be used for greens. So that's going to be like kales, lettuce, spinach, that sort of thing. That would be a good option for that style. And I think the cup is shaped a little bit different, is the main difference, I think, in that. But don't quote me on it. Like I said, I didn't even really look at those too closely because I was pretty well just fixated on strawberries. We are big berry eaters here in this house, and last year growing season for all berries across the board was pretty rough. Even for the locals here in our climate, for how temperate we are, they even had a hard time dealing with all of the rain. And that's another thing with this guy set up this way. This should also help prevent them ending up with rot. That's a pretty common problem with strawberries. They don't like to be overly wet, and they tend to even like having rocky soil at times. So it's kind of one of those, after doing a lot of research and knowing our space limitations here, because we're just under a 1/4 acre, like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, but not all of it is usable. So this is a good, safe, space-saving option when you want to grow things along this line. And strawberries, you can even use them as ground cover. So if you've got an area that you're wanting just a basic ground cover, you could just do a strawberry plant if you enjoy strawberries. We didn't really want to get into that because there's other challenges and things that come with that for us here. We just didn't want to be crawling around on the ground, is the other thing. You know, it's after a long day of work and we're working on the homestead, you kind of just don't really want your knees in the gravel and on the rock and on the ground in general. And typically for containers such as this, the June bearing variety is not ideal. But when I called, their everbearing, which is what grows really well in containers, and their June bearing were completely mixed up. So I just kind of went, well, you know, worst case scenario, the June bearing, which tends to vine out more and act a little bit more like a ground cover, if I understand correctly. That will probably just make little babies that I can cut out, and if I have any plants that start to die off, I can put them in that place, in that hole, and or give some plant starts away to friends or family, whoever's interested in growing strawberries. That is the good thing about strawberry plants, is they're pretty regenerative overall. And doing them like this, I'll be able to tell the mother plant from the babies. That's what a lot of gardeners struggle with when they are doing strawberries initially, is telling which one is the mother plant and which one is her offshoot, because you really don't want to uproot the mother plant unless the mother plant is finally just dying out naturally, because the mother plant is the one that's going to put off the most as far as fruit production goes. And a lot of people have a hard time telling the difference, so doing this also will help eliminate the confusion on my side of, was that one the mother plant? I can't remember, and having to deal with those technicalities. Now, if you are a gardener who's really super duper organized and you write down exactly where everything is, I super commend you on that. I am not that gardener as of right now. I'm usually doing so much at a time that I just kind of let it go in a free-for-all. It's unfortunate. I shouldn't do it that way. I really should take better notes and make better notes, and I'm going to try and get better with that after this year. Because after this year, we should have the bulk of all of the main building projects done. So I should be able to be a little bit more diligent in cataloging and making notes for myself for future references, and to be able to reference for you guys a little bit better. And the good thing about gardening, though, one way or the other, no matter which your style is, gardens are very, very forgiving. Plants in general are very, very forgiving. So don't beat yourself up if you put something together and you totally forgot to mark it. You don't know what it is, because I promise you, eventually you will know what you put where as soon as it starts bearing fruit. And under circumstances like this, I'm just kind of taking the hassle out by doing it this way. It's called the cheater's method. I want to say this one here, I'm betting that's an ever bearing. But we'll find out. Now, as for this year, I'm not sure how many strawberries I will get this year. I'm not overly worried about it, because strawberries can take time. I'm gonna bet that's an everbearing too. I don't know, something in my guts is saying it. It can take strawberries a year to really be producing well for you. I will probably see a small crop this year, but I'm not expecting anything grandiose. It might just be garden snack amount. And that's okay too. That guy's a little root bound there. Okay. Well, And this is actually pretty inventive. This is a good way to reuse plastic bottles, just FYI. You can see, you just puncture some holes. Instead of just putting it straight into landfill, you can reuse them because they are sturdy as far as planting goes. So kudos on the inventiveness. This is also a fun way to garden with your kids, and a good way to get them involved. Planters like this, they can easily access it themselves for watering, harvesting. It's a good way to get them interested in nature and just in the growing process in the garden. Alright, I need 2 more for this guy here. I'm dreaming of strawberry preserves right now going on scones. That's kind of what's keeping me going at this point. Highlight of my day. All right, let me go on ahead and speed this along for you guys so that you don't get too bored with me, okay? Hold on. There you have it, guys. 2 Mr. Stacky Grow Towers filled with strawberries. I forgot to mention that there is a hole that goes down the center of all these guys. So if you want to do like a hydroponic system or anchor them into the ground, that is an option for you. I'm gonna go with the unsafe option and not anchor them in yet because we're not 100% sure where we want to put them yet, but we're thinking that once we get the greenhouse up over here that we might put it flanking the doors, in which case they'll be pretty well protected there. So that will be a to be continued situation. And so with that, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this inspired you to try something new. And for those of you who are working in small space gardens or off of patios and are wanting to grow something, I hope this gave you some inspiration to be able to do that for yourself. These containers are also really good options for herb gardens. So It'll keep all your herbs in one place, and that would be a perfect setup to have just right outside your door to go and pluck and cook with. So yeah, I think we're gonna invest in a couple more, maybe like 4 more, we'll see. But guys, as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential, and I will see you on the next one.